All right. I think we're live. First time live on YouTube. Um, Let me see. Stream settings. The stream is healthy. All right, it looks like we are live. Cool. Wait, I don't know if the audio is working or not. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna check out the audio. Cool. Wait, I don't know if the audio. All right, looks like the audio is working. All right, let's just get right into it then. Switch to live scene. I'm using this program called Streamlabs OBS. I used to stream before actually, games and stuff, but I started off with Streamlabs, but then I switched over to OBS, and now I'm back on Streamlabs, so it's kind of weird, but it's all good. So yeah, I've been learning Blender for like the last couple of weeks. So my background is that like I've been using, I'm a big Maya user, so I've been using Maya mostly. Like 5 years experience with Maya or something now at this point. But yeah, I've been learning Blender. I've been going through this tutorial by this guy, Simon Fuchs, if anyone knows him. So he's kind of like the one that, like, oh, virus threat. That happens every time I open a Chrome app for some reason. This guy right here, he's the reason why I started learning Blender, because I did his like military radio tutorial before and it was really cool. I learned a lot about game art and stuff in like Maya, because I think this one right here, this tutorial right here, yeah, he used Maya, and I learned a ton about just game art in general from this tutorial. And then I found out recently that he released a Blender tutorial, and I'm like, because I've tried learning Blender before, but I failed. Like, I've tried multiple times to learn Blender, and then when I found out Simon Fuchs put out like a Blender tutorial, I was hyped, because like I know his quality of tutorials are really good. And like, bro, like I went through the first video, like the first intro to Blender video in this tutorial, which is 4 hours long, and dude, like every minute of the intro video of the 4 hours, every minute was like packed with information. So if you guys go through this, it's pretty dense. The first video, you'll have an easier time if you're already a Blender user, but if you're kind of new like me, it's gonna be a dense like thing to go through at first. But yeah, I went through the intro video, and that's pretty much my experience with Blender so far. So yeah, I modeled this Snes controller so far, and today I'm planning to finish like this end part, so we're gonna work on that today. I think I got my pure ref open. We're gonna be modeling this part. So I took pictures with my iPhone of my actual Snes controller. These are my reference pics that I took of the actual controller when I modeled the controller part. So those came in helpful, and then I found like these diagrams online that came in helpful too. But yeah, today we're gonna try modeling this end piece of the controller and connect it. So before that, I'll show you guys how this looks in rendered view. So what we're using here is a thing called the bevel node in the shader graph, and that's giving all of like the hard edges like a nice little bevel. So that's pretty sick. So that means I could model pretty not low poly, but I don't have to worry about like small little bevels, right? Like this is just an edge here. Oh, sorry, I'm still getting used to navigating in Blender. But yeah, you can see this right here is just an edge and it's not beveled. But if I go into like into rendered view, you can see that it kind of gets like this nice little bevel because of the bevel shader. And yeah, it's not rendering as fast because I guess because I'm streaming, so it's all good. Yeah, this is what I have so far. It's pretty sick. And I was using like a plugin called HardOps, which gives you pretty cool like boolean operations, like live booleans. And like booleans in Blender are pretty sick because like in Maya, like booleans could get pretty messy in Maya and like break things pretty quickly. So when I started using like booleans in Blender, it's pretty powerful. Like a lot of this stuff is just booleans, like the holes in the back, like these are just straight up booleans. And I'm using Mesh Machine, so like using that for like the symmetry stuff. And yeah, there's a bunch of plugins I'm using, mostly from that I found out about from the Simon Fuchs video tutorial. But yeah, I would check those out if I were you guys. But yeah, maybe this button right here is a little too curved. So yeah, that's been bothering me a little bit. Yeah, none of these booleans are live right now. I applied them before I started this. So yeah, we're gonna start on this end piece back here. But before that, I want to organize my stuff. So Blender has also, if you look at my setup, I try setting it up kind of like how Maya is, just so I feel more at home. But yeah, the hierarchy is pretty cool because you could toggle like these restriction toggles. Like this one is so if you want the object to be selectable or not. So I'll just turn that off right now. And yeah, let me see. Okay, yeah, this was like my reference plane that I used when I was modeling the Snes controller. So I don't need that right now. We are gonna set up a reference plane for the little end piece soon, but right now we don't need that. So I wanna rename these. I wonder if there's a faster way to rename this stuff. But right now I'm just gonna let me see. This is all of it. Nope. So it looks like these parts aren't part of it. I'll put them in their own collection. How about that? Yeah. So I'll just select everything here. accept the cable, or I don't know, should I add the cable? I'll add the cable, and we're gonna hit Shift C, and we're gonna add to new collection, and I'll call this collection Snes controller. And then we're gonna hit Shift C, because if you guys look, you'll see that there's like duplicates, and it's because like these objects are in two collections at the same time, right? So it's not duplicate objects, it's just two objects, I mean the same object in two different collections. So I have to remove this from the collections, the collection, and it'll just be in the SNES controller collection now. And that's kind of like a group in Maya. Oh, looks like these things right here aren't in the collection, so just do Shift C, add to SNES controller, and then Shift C, remove from master collection. Yeah, okay, so now everything's in the SNES controller collection group thing. So that's pretty cool. And it doesn't look like the wire transferred. Okay, so the curve is still here. I don't need that anymore, so I'll get rid of it. And we're gonna put this into move to, yeah. Okay, cool. So move to just moves it to a different collection, so you don't have to remove it from a collection. So cool, that's pretty good to know. All right. So that looks all good to me. What's this? Oh, these are just lights that I'm not using right now. So that looks good. I'm gonna save as gonna save this as number 6, and this is like our nice cleaned up starting scene, so everything's all cleaned up and we're ready to go. I'm gonna import an image plane. So if I go up here to file, import images as plane, I can import an image as a plane. I think this is an add-on actually. Add-on. Yeah, so you gotta make sure you have this turned on, import images as planes. We'll just go import images as planes, and let's go up one, refs. I wonder if there's a way to see like a little preview of the image. I think it's this one. Yeah. Yep, that's the one. Gonna rotate on the Z 90 degrees, and then we're gonna rotate on the X negative 90, and I'll hide the SNES controller. Oh, it's part of the SNES controller collection right now. So we want to move that to the image plane collection. Image planes, there we go. So now you'll see it's in the image plane. So now I should be able to hide this collection. Yep, cool. All right, so when I took these pictures, of course I'm not gonna get like a perfect orthographic view of the objects, so it's kind of, you can see it's kind of tilted, but I'm gonna mostly work off of like this side because it seems more flat than this side. And then I have the actual object with me, so I could reference that in real life. And yeah, I'm sorry if there's any like technical difficulties or anything, like maybe the audio's messed up or something. I don't know, this is my first stream, it's gonna suck, I know. But yeah, let's just start modeling. Let's see, we'll start with the cube. All right, and then also I'm gonna be referring to like my notes, so all of these notes are from the Simon Fuchs Blender drone tutorial, and you can see how much stuff how many notes I have from the intro video. All of this is from the intro video. So yeah, I have like all the hotkeys up here, all the shortcuts to the hotkeys up here, and then down here I have like different like operations I could use, right? Like with like gifs and stuff. Like I went all out with these notes. And then what's useful about these notes is that I could just hit like Control F and look something up, and then I could find something I'm looking for, right? One thing that I didn't think about was that the search function doesn't work like inside of these drop downs, so it's not searching like in here. It's only like the surface stuff, which is kind of lame, but it's whatever's. Okay, so I know there's a way to make an object X-ray, so we're gonna look that up real quick. X-ray. Okay, Shift Z is X-ray mode. Shift Z. Oh wait, you know what? I actually found out a different way that you could do it, because I think Shift Z. Yeah, Shift Z does it to like the whole scene. It makes the whole scene like X-rayed. So what I have to do is or what I have been doing, there might be a faster way to do this, so anyone let me know if there is, but what I've been doing is doing this while I have the object selected, and I change it from textured to wire. There we go. And also I wish the image plane didn't like obscure the grid line, so I could see where the middle line is, but that's fine. Let me see if I could change that somehow. Nah, alright, whatever, it's cool. Let me just align this better. Go something like that. Cool. And then I guess what I could do is, let's turn on this selectable filter, and we'll make the image plane non-selectable. So yeah, now I shouldn't be able to select it, so that's pretty cool. Grab these, go GUI, yep, and we'll go something like that. Oh, it just grabbed the like the surface leveled ones. Yeah, so that's weird, because even though I'm in wired mode, it's not selecting all the way through. So that's something I'm kind of getting used to with Blender. I have to go into X-ray box selection and then select it, right? And that X-ray box selection is That is another plugin. If I could find it. I don't know. It's another add-on that lets you, when you hit B, you go into like this X-ray box selection, and that selects through the object. GUI, let's bring that up. Let's just start blocking this out. Go like that. Oh. GX. Bring that out right there. That should be fine. Cool. Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna focus on this side right now. And then once I'm happy with like a block out there, I'll mirror it over to this side. And yeah, and then we could start detailing and stuff. Because if you look at the end piece right here, you'll see that it's not like symmetrical on both sides. So we're gonna have to break the symmetry to get this to work. I mean, I guess we could keep the symmetry for like this big part, and then this inner part could be a separate piece where the symmetry is broken. So let's just, oh, I marked that as hard on accident. I'm accidentally using my Maya shortcut keys. I do that all the time. Just hit 2 to go into edge mode. Shift R is the, or control R is the like the insert edge loop, and we'll start working with this. Control R, insert edge loop, boom, right there. And then we'll push this stuff in. Let me see. Yes, we're gonna have to like inset that stuff. Yeah, we're gonna, we'll inset that stuff and then extrude it. I think that's a better idea. So I'm not worried about the thickness right now. We'll deal with that later. Nope. X to delete. And let me turn on solid for this. And we're gonna hit Shift F, no, Control F. No, it's Control Shift F. Yep, Control Shift F. We're gonna connect these two verts with Alt 1. No, that's joining them. That's merge at the last selected vertex is Alt 1, but I want to hit J. Yep. Okay, cool. For that, I think the active point is centered. I think it's centered. Not really. I don't even think this edge is centered with the grid line, is it? No, it's not. So let's open up the snap settings, increment absolute grid. Let's go GX and we'll snap that to the center. And then I want to move the active point, so I'll do Shift Alt S, and then I'll go Control Alt S and change it to vertex G, and I'll snap it to this center edge, and then I could close that out with Control Alt S, no, Shift Alt S. There we go. And now the active point is right here, and then that lets me do Alt X and I want to mirror this side. So this is, I think this is machine tools or hard ups, I don't know. I think it's machine tools. This lets me mirror over this side over to this side. So I have to click on this side, and now that side's mirrored onto that side. And I believe this is oh, it's hard ops. So this is a live mirror, so anything I do on this side happens to the other side, which is cool. I'm gonna deactivate this for now because this part kind of bothers me, so I'm gonna delete this stuff. There we go. And now if I turn it back on, we don't have that weird intersection part. Cool. So yeah, now I could worry about the thickness now. So I'll move this up to, hold on, let me change it back to increment and absolute grid. And I want this bottom part to be flush with the grid. There we go. And then I can move this part down. And let me look at my reference again. Alright, so it is pretty thick. Something like that should be fine. Because we are gonna have like a circular part back here too. So want to make room for that. Cool, I think that's enough. And you know what? I think I'm gonna have to apply this symmetry right now, because if I try to inset, yeah, that's gonna happen. So what I'm gonna do is go into object mode, hit Q again, and that goes into my quick favorites. And I set apply modifiers into my quick favorites. So go apply that, and you'll see that it's no longer like an active modifier. So now I should be able to inset this, and something like that looks good to me. And then we'll push that out. Let's go up here, object mode, and we'll switch this back to wire. Go into vertex mode, select these, push them up, or nope, I want to push them in the Y. Let's go something like that. It looks like I didn't inset enough, so I could select these, go back to this top edge, and I think it's not Alt S, it's Control Shift S. No, Alt Control S. Yeah, Alt Control S, and that's kind of like the transform in Maya, where it like pushes along the normals. So I'll use that to kind of push these sides in more. Now I could kind of see that. I don't know if these are like aligning or not anymore. Let me see. Yeah, that's kind of messed up now, so let's fix that. So what we'll do with this is I'm gonna select all these edges and change my view so it's something like this. Hit Alt A to bring up the align tools, and we want to align them to the top edges. So now that's straightened out. Let's get these bottom ones, and we want to align that to the bottom, and that's straightened out now. That's pretty cool. Let me see. Wire. I'm gonna push this out a little bit more. GY. Oh. GY. Push that out a little bit more. And let's just take a look at this object, this blockout. It's feeling a little too thin for me. It might actually just be that way. Let me see. Let's look at our reference. Yeah, it's feeling kind of thin to me, so gonna scale it up on the Z, or you know what, I'm gonna hit Alt S, and that centers the active point, and then I'm gonna scale on the Z. Let's go something like that, because I think this inner part is just not. Yeah. Yeah, something about this inner part is not working for me. Let me see. We'll scale on the Z. Bring that up. Right. Let's go orthographic. There we go. Scale on the Z. And then scale on the X. Yeah, that feels a lot better to me. There we go. But yeah, now it's not really lining up. It like this seems like way off now. Like in this view it seems fine compared to my reference, but I don't know what's going on here. Let me try pushing these in more again. So scale X. Let's go something like that. See how that looks. That looks good. I feel like these top parts are now too, like that's too thin right there. So let's squeeze that down. Something like that. There we go. Okay, cool. I'm happy with that block out. Cool. Let me check on the stream. Stream is healthy, apparently. Cool. So yeah, that's a good start. Let's see. So we're not gonna worry about detailing yet. Let's do this bottom cylindrical part next. So I'm gonna do Shift A, or you know what? I think if I'm in edit mode and then I do Shift A and then I add a cylinder, I think it's actually like part of this object now. Yeah, so if I'm in object mode, this is part of the same object now. I don't know why this appears, this empty appears. I think it's when I mirror, it makes like an empty for some reason. So yeah, you could just delete that. Okay, cool. So let's grab this. You could double click it. I forgot what add-on that is, but it's similar to Maya, how Maya works. Like in Maya, you could like alt click and stuff, and like shift click. So that's kind of what I'm used to. So I'm using like an add-on for that. Scale this down. Rotate on the X 90 degrees. We'll move this right here and scale that down. Cool. Let me grab this piece right here. We're gonna scale that up. And you know what? I'm actually gonna make this a separate part for now. So I think that's Alt P, Control P. Make vertex parent. No, it's is it just P? Yeah. Separate by loose parts. There we go. Now this is its own object. The active elements up here, so I could hit Alt S, then Control Alt S, increment absolute grid, and then snap this to the grid so it's lined up with this edge right here. And again, I'm gonna focus on lining up to like this side of the image, not worry about this side because the picture I took is not like orthographic, just shot on the iPhone. So yeah, let's grab these verts down here with the X-ray box select, move these up, something like that. So yeah, let's check our reference again. So yeah, it is taking kind of like a lot of this bottom area. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put like an edge in the center right here, because I want to make sure this thing is aligned perfectly. Yeah, see how this is off? The center point is off. So what I could do is hit G, X, and first I have to make sure I'm in vertex snapping, G, Z, and then snap it into the center area there, and that should be perfectly in the middle. Cool. Object. Huh. Why is a wireframe still on? Oh. Okay, I had a wireframe on. Cool. So that block out is looking pretty sweet. Let me see. So yeah, I'm happy with that block out. Oh, sorry about that. Cool. So now we'll just save this. Why is it taking forever to save? There we go. And now we could start focusing on like the secondary shapes. So I guess the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna focus on like the roundness of this main shape. I might break out this area first. Yeah, I'm gonna focus on the shape first actually. So let me bring up my reference. You can see how round the area is compared to what I have right now. this is just kind of like a sharp corner. I want more of this round beveled edge, and that's something you can't get with the bevel shader. Like this is more part of like the silhouette of the object, so you can't get that with just the bevel shader. You're gonna have to actually model that. So we'll select all of these edges right here, and I think this bottom part, yeah, the bottom part's beveled too. Yeah, cool. So we'll select this bottom part as well, and we'll try to match it as close as we can to our reference. Oh. So we'll hit Control B to bevel. Control B to bevel. There we go. Wait. I want to have a good view of it before we bevel. Let's go something like this. Control B. And we'll go something, it's pretty round. Something like that. Oh, you know what? This bevel doesn't seem even, so I think that's because we haven't applied the transforms. So we have to go Control A, apply all. Control A, apply all. Now it should have all the transforms applied, so we won't get any weirdness in the bevel. Hopefully. Kind of. Yeah. That looks better. We'll hit it with the 0.4. Oh my god. Okay, I think that's a bug. Okay, I think it's a bug if you try beveling in orthographic. Let's go something like that. Ah, no. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. You know what? That might have been a little too round. I'm actually gonna, I'm gonna bevel while I'm in this top view. Because if I try lining up this corner bevel, I think all the other bevels will line up fine. Oh, right. Oh, there we go. There it goes. So let's just line that up. I might exaggerate it a little bit. Object. Okay, cool. That should work. Cool. And now you'll see that we have like all these weird hard edges on here. So what we could do is hit this with a smooth, and that just kind of breaks everything. But that allows us to hit it with an auto smooth. and I think it defaults to a 30-degree angle, and that works nicely to soften the edges that are like round, and any like hard angles get hard edges. So that's pretty cool. So that's kind of the body right there of this plug end. Let me see, let's look at our reference again. This part right here, it's not too round. We might just let the bevel shader take care of this like little tiny bevel, because I don't think this adds too much to the silhouette anyway. So letting the bevel shader take care of that might be fine. And next I'm gonna separate this inner part from the outer part, because you'll see that this is actually a separate piece from that. So we'll do that right now. Go 1, Alt 1, that's smart vert, that's the machine add-on, and it's merging to last. So if I select this vert and then this vert last and hit Alt 1, it merges it to the last vert that I selected. Cool. Okay, I was checking the stream. Go like this, Alt 1, boom. Okay, so now we kind of want like a inset on this area right here, but let's see. If I hit Control R, yeah, it's like a Maya where once it hits like a triangle, it doesn't know how to cut through it. So what I'm gonna do is, let's look at the reference, and it looks like it's about halfway through, so it's like 50% inset. So I think we could just hit this with like that, just slice it through the middle. And then these we could just knife this, and I'm gonna try to fix that, like the smoothness of that with loop tools. So we'll try that right now. If I hit Q, no, it's just right click, I think. Loop tools and relax. No. Let me see. Cause I know loop tools has some pretty cool stuff we could use, but I don't know if it's gonna help me in this situation. So turn a loop into a smooth curve. Oof, nope, that's not what I wanted. All right, so that's not gonna work, so let me undo that. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna grab this piece with X-ray box selection. We're gonna hit P, separate by selection, and then we're gonna go back to this object. We're gonna select everything here. Actually, I don't want to do that. let's do it like this. And I think you hold control, it does shortest path. And we're gonna delete those faces. Gonna do Control E, no, Alt E, extrude edges. No, where's the extrude along normals? Shift Alt S. Okay, we'll do Alt E, extrude edges. Now these edges are here. I'll let go of them, and I'll hit Shift Alt S, and that'll let me control. That'll let me control like their. Let me push them along their vertex. So we'll go something like this. You can see it's kind of wonky, so I'm gonna select this. Alt A, align it to the right. So like these two. Alt A, align to the top. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of a mess right there. Where's the... Cause I swear there's like a extrude along normals. Okay, we'll try something else. We'll fill this face in. Alt F, no, that's not the one I want. Shift Alt F, Control Alt F, Control F. Wait, there we go. Okay, so Control along normals is in the face options with Control F. Extrude along normals. That's not really doing that. Control F, or is it Control E? How did I fill the faces this time? Shift Alt F, Control F, Alt F. Let me look it up. So I'm going back here to my notes. I'm gonna look up fill. Shift Control F. Shift Control F. There we go. That's what I wanted. And then we could do an inset from that. There we go. That's what I wanted. Go something like that. Yeah. So let's undo that. Go something like that. And you know what? This kind of helps us out because we could use this blockout mesh right here. We could use this as like a reference while we inset this again, because this side has like the roundness that kind of matches up with this bevel, so these bevels are kind of matched up. So I could get that from doing this, and then I'll worry about this side later. So we'll inset again. Goes something like that. And I'm gonna actually scale this up on the X. I mean on the Z. Like that. And then extrude this. And then we could get rid of this blockout mesh for now. You know what? that didn't really work out the way I wanted it to. So we're gonna merge this at center for now. And we'll just build the other part from scratch. Yeah, okay. So we'll grab this part. And we're just gonna kind of eyeball it. Something like that. I'm gonna turn on wireframe. Yeah, okay. We're gonna grab these two edges. And this is kind of circular, so we'll see if we could get that. Yeah, there we go. And then we'll do the box X-ray selection. GX. We'll push that up like that. We'll push this out too a little bit. Yeah, that should be fine. Then if this is the center right here, Shift R, Control R, okay. So let's join these two right here with J. Oh, that's not what I wanted. That was M. J, and you'll see that the connect tool in Blender, it actually connects through edges, which is something Maya can't do, and I freaking love this. So now that that edge is there, should allow us to, to cut through here. So this is the center. We want to be a little bit off the center, like right here, something like that. Yeah, okay, cool. And I'll just leave that there for reference in the future for this middle edge. Yeah, okay. So now we're gonna actually grab this, and let me try something. No, not Alt G. Control Alt G, Shift Alt G, Shift G. Yeah. So Shift G brings up select similar, and you could do select similar, coplanar, and that selects the same faces in the the planar area, which is pretty neat. And then we could inset this again to get like the outer edge part, and we'll do something like this, a little bit more. I like to exaggerate it sometimes because these things are gonna be small or in game, and sometimes you can't really make out the objects if they're too thin, so you want to kind of exaggerate it sometimes. And then with this little reference edge I put here for this part, I'm gonna select this edge. Let's select the whole edge, why not? I'm not really worried about n-gons and stuff right now at this point. We're gonna use a bevel shader, and this is gonna be baked onto a low poly, In the low polys, that's when I start worrying about like n-gons and stuff. But during like the high poly stage, I'm not worried about n-gons. So I'm gonna bevel this edge and try to match the width to this outer edge out here. So that's why I put that edge there earlier. Well, bam. And now we could grab these faces right here and we could push those back. And we'll just eyeball it, something like that. Or you know what? Well, are we still in vertex? Yeah, we're still in vertex, so go G, Y, and we're gonna snap it back to this vertex right here. But you'll notice that causes some like intersections right there. So I'm actually not gonna do that. I'm just gonna push it back about right there. And then again, these hard edges right here, we're gonna let the bevel shader kind of take care of these edges right here, and we'll get that smoothness. Or you know what? I might actually bevel these, because they are pretty round. Yeah, you could kind of see in the silhouette, right? So yeah, I might actually bevel these. So we'll do this, Shift Z, coplanar, and that selects the coplanar faces. We'll do Q, quick favorites, select boundary. And then I could bevel these edges right here. We'll do 2 segments. Bam. Easy. And turn off wireframe. We don't need that. Let's see. We could bevel these edges right here too. And again, I'm not worried about n-gons right now. So we could just straight up bevel these like that. And that gives us this roundness right here as well. We'll do some cleanup. So we'll go like this, merge the center, merge a center. Right, man. Like little artifacts like this, sometimes it like this isn't, I don't think this will show when we do the bevel shader, so we don't have to worry about these shading artifacts. I think it'll be fine. But let's just make sure we hit this with the smooth, auto smooth. We can also adjust the angle, so we could hit this with 45. That smooths it out some more. Got some of those inner edges there. Let me see. Auto smooth, let's do 60. There we go. That starts cleaning up some of those edges right there. So that looks better to me. Right. Okay. Now this inner part, I said I was gonna separate this inner part. So we're gonna hit Shift H to isolate it. Let's select this part. I'm using the shortest path. We'll do P, separate selection, and now that's his own object. And I think it's Alt H, brings everything back. Oh, okay. So now this is its own object, like in the reference. You can see the bevels in the actual object are kind of off, so we might model some of that stuff in so it's like kind of misaligned. Because like real world objects, they're not always like perfectly machined. Like sometimes they it gets loose and then these parts don't line up perfectly anymore, and I think that just adds more like character to your model. So I'm gonna try getting some of that in there. Yeah, so let's just grab this part first though. But actually let's turn this into wire. Grab these edges, just bring them back like that. So now the bevel shader should pick up this edge right here and put like a bevel right here, and that'll help with the separation between this part and the inner part. So yeah, that's looking pretty good. And remember, this part's gonna get that bevel shader too. Cool. Yeah, I actually want to clean this one up a little bit. So I want to grab all of these edges except the middle edge, and I think I want to dissolve, limited dissolve. Yeah, because I think if I just deleted them it would have like destroyed this whole face. I just wanted to do a limited dissolve just to clean it up a little bit. I know these are n-gons, but we're not concerned with that right now. It's cool, everything's okay, we're not gonna die. So it looks like this part's kind of inset more to me. Like I could see that it's kind of in there more. It's not completely flush with the surface. It's gonna move this back in the Y, and I'm gonna exaggerate it just to make that come through in the model when people are looking at it. And then this time out I will actually go into X-ray mode with the Shift Z, so it's everything goes into X-ray mode. And we'll grab all the faces if it lets me. There we go. And we'll do Q, select boundary, and then we'll extrude this as well on the Y. We'll match it up with the other one just because. Object. So now that has some thickness too, and the bevel shader should be able to pick that up as well. Shift Z. There we go. Cool. And I'm gonna start misaligning some of this stuff. So I'll go into Shift Z again. And I just kind of want to nudge these by hand a little bit. Like if it was kind of moving in here and like sliding around, and it's not really like a perfect flush fit anymore. Because you'll see that it's not like perfectly matched to that bevel. Yeah, so we're kind of getting it, not as much as I would like though. Yeah, we're getting it. Kind of see this is kind of misaligned now. It's not perfectly on there anymore. Okay, cool. I was just checking the music. I put it to, it's like copyright free lo-fi music. And I set it to loop, and I was just making sure it didn't switch to like a copyright one. But yeah, if you wanna check out this music, it's just I literally just looked up copyright free lo-fi music. But yeah, that looks pretty good. There's not like any detail on that, just that piece right there. That should be fine. Cool. So yeah, let's do this back part, because I feel like these two shapes, or three shapes technically, I feel like we got like the secondary shapes in there now, so I want to get the secondary shapes on this part now. But let's hit this with a smooth, no, auto smooth. There we go. I don't know if I should boolean this to this, because I don't know if the bevel shader like bevels like intersecting geometry, so I might test that right now. Oh, let me hit Alt S, reset the active point. I'm gonna scale this down a little bit. Box select GY. Boom. So just kind of intersecting this now. Like this wire. And it looks like we have two like strips right here. So we'll go something like this. And I think that should be fine, because the perspective of this picture is kind of off, so I don't want to rely on that too much. So I'm gonna grab this, I'm gonna inset it, and I think there should be a number up here. Yeah, so I'll do 0.003. Bam. I'll grab this, inset 0.003. Bam. Now grab this again, and I could do Shift Alt S, push that in. Wait. Actually, I want to grab this and move this. Wait, hold on. Want this. Okay, I want like this whole strip right here. Yeah. Huh. What's going on here? Box select. Yep, that's what I need. So that should select through the whole thing. And now I could move this like right here. GY. Oh. Shift S. There we go. that's what I wanted. This bottom part looks like it's beveled, and it looks like it's part of the silhouette, so I'll handle that right now. Boom. Let's turn this up to 50. That should clean that up. Cool. And we could put in the hole right now for this. Go like this. We'll go one more time and bring that in. Could actually I'm not actually looking at reference for this part, but it's whatever's. Just kind of guessing it looks something like this. Oh, cool. So now what I want to test is if the bevel shader is gonna work with like intersecting geometry. So I'm gonna hit this with a bevel mid, and then hit this with a bevel mid as well, and then we'll go into rendered view, and we'll zoom in right here, take a closer look. And you know what, it's a little dark, so let's add a light in here. I'm gonna put this to 50. Z render. It doesn't look like it's adding a bevel between intersecting geometry. It might be, but I don't think it is. Let me make sure the bevel shader is actually working. Let's look at this edge right here. So yeah, it does seem to be working like on this edge right here, so that's cool. I guess it just doesn't work with like intersecting geometry. Like I thought I was gonna add like a bevel between the intersecting geometry, but I guess not. But that's cool, it's alright. I think either way it looks fine. I think this middle strip has to be a little bit wider. Yeah, this has to be wider and this has to come up more. Scale this in the Y, or you know what, we'll hit Control plus, yeah, to grow our selection. Scale on the Y. Let's go like this, and then we'll move this in more on the Y, like that. Actually, bring that back more, like that. That should be fine. So what I'm gonna do with these two parts is I'm gonna make sure that they're intersecting. So it does look like they're intersecting, so I'll do control minus to do boolean, and I want this to be a intersect, no, a union. So now they should be part of the same mesh. So if I go into rendered view now, yeah. So now I'm getting that blend between this part and like this plug right here. I think that's working. I don't know, it's kind of rendering slower because I'm streaming, but it's fine. Yeah, I think this is starting to blend now, so that's cool. Cool. I don't know why the wireframe is still on. There's the union boolean, so that boolean is live. I'll keep that live for now. Is there any way I could turn off the wireframe on this? Relationship lines? It's not F3. Oh, it's the cutters, that's what it is. So these cutters up here, I would just hide them somehow, because I think it's, yeah. So that cutter right there was kind of what the wireframe thing was. So I don't want to look at the cutters right now. So yeah, we got that on there. And yeah, I think we got most of the secondary shapes. I think I'll just I'll add this yeah, you know what, I think that's just detailing. So yeah, we got most of the main the bigger shapes and the secondary shapes, so we got most of that with this. I'll just go ahead and add the bevel mid to everything for now. Shift Q, bevel mid, Shift Q, bevel mid, and we'll just leave it like that for now for this stream. Let's just see how everything looks right now, and we'll hide this. So yeah, this is kind of the point where we're at right now. We got the middle, the big shapes. We got the secondary shapes in there too. I should connect these two shapes. Just cause you could see it's adding like a bevel inside here, so I have to connect these two pieces right here, cause that's not really the look we want. And you can see like in this area right here, those little shading artifacts aren't showing. It's pretty smooth, everything looks pretty good. You can see that this hard edge that we had here is now like rounded. and it looks better. Let's go back here, take a look. So yeah, all this looks good. You can see that this bottom part right here is starting to blend into this main part, so that's cool. We might hit this this part with a bevel small because it's kind of it's really beveling this part, and that might be too much. So it might be okay because of how like rubbery this part is. So I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, I'm happy where we're at right now. It looks pretty good. It's a good start. Got the big shapes, secondary shapes, and next time we'll fix up some of these little things and we'll start detailing this. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any comments or anything, any suggestions for me, leave them down in the comments below and I'll look at them. Yeah, feel free to subscribe.